This is an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder.
When Rebecca Whitlinger first saw the gold lame bridesmaid dress for a close friend's 1988 wedding, she was certain that she would never wear it again. But instead, over the years, Rebecca has worn that dress just about everywhere, and she has the pictures to prove it. In fact, she has created a bridesmaid fundraiser for charity and has also donated a portion of her book to the cause. That book is Always a Bridesmaid, 89 Ways to Recycle That Bridesmaid Dress. Rebecca joins us via Zoom from Pittsburgh. Hi, Rebecca.
Hey, good morning, good afternoon, and I want you to know I'm wearing the dress as we speak.
Wow. Okay, so I actually saw you in People magazine. Now, you were covered in People magazine not once, but twice. You had a story several years ago on People magazine, and in a recent issue of People magazine, you were also in there again. First of all, let's go back to 1988. Was this the first time you were a bridesmaid?
No, but it clearly turned out to be the one that was the most memorable. It was a very close friend who said, would you want to be in my wedding? And we're very close to this day. And I said, yes. I did not like the dress, but you don't serve as a bridesmaid just because you're getting an outfit you want. You do it for your friend. And it was gold lame and gold sequins, as you correctly stated. And the sequins really are gold and glowy. But it was perfect for 1988. It was an evening wedding. But I thought the likelihood of wearing it again would be never.
So when did the idea...
Decided,
So when did the idea of actually wearing it again first start? How long after the wedding did you actually put that dress on again?
Say about 6 months. I was reminded of it every time I opened my closet. And I thought, hey, what can I do to wear it again? And I just decided, well, I'll just wear it at a construction site that was near my apartment at the time. And I thought it would be funny, and I sent people pictures, and then it just sort of snowballed.
Okay, you've worn this dress from Milan to Paris. You've worn it skiing in the Alps. You hiked Machu Picchu. You toured caves. Is there anything you won't do in this dress?
I won't do anything illegal, immoral, or obscene, but that leaves me plenty of future photo opportunities. I'm going back to France in November, and we might go to Spain. So the dress wants to go to Spain for sure, as well as I do. And there's nothing I wouldn't do as long as it's, family friendly, put it that way. And I'm ready for all adventures, all countries, all states. So
now
I love Canada.
I'm glad you love Canada. I assume that when you first put it on, it was a lark. When did it become a mission?
Oh, gosh, I would probably say 30 years ago, because people said, oh, are you going to bring the dress to my event? Like, well, yes, I'll put it on, take the picture and take it off, because usually I'm more fashionably clad, I guess you could say. And it just got noticed, and I won a local contest, and people started inviting me to do things. And it just seemed like, wow, this is fun. And it's a hobby that only takes 1 minute. Put the dress on, take it off. I always have, obviously, an outfit underneath, and then I'm good to go.
Is there, or are there, I should say, any alterations done to the dress over the years, or is it exactly the way you wore it back in 1988?
It's exactly the same, and the bride chose very durable and expensive fabric that made it last. And I thank her for that, because the dresses were custom made, and certainly it speaks to their high quality. And I've subjected this dress to a lot, believe me. It's still glowing.
I mentioned several places you've been to. You are, as in the Pittsburgh area, you've worn it to a Steelers game, to the Pittsburgh Ballet Theater, to the Symphony Orchestra for performances. At what point, I think it was in 1999 that you published a book, as I mentioned earlier, Always a Bridesmaid, 89 Ways to Recycle That Bridesmaid Dress. When did you realize that it was such a thing that you needed to write a book?
I think after being on Oprah, that really sealed the deal. That gave me a lot of credibility. And then that's when People Magazine came out and I did the Today Show because I think it's something people can relate to. Women have these dresses. I mean, I've been a bridesmaid 8 times. You look at them languishing in the closet, you think, what can I do? And even men that might not be fashion conscious are aware that these gowns are hanging in their wife or girlfriend's closet. And I think it's just something relatable that I happened to stumble upon.
Now you are still friends, as you say, with that woman who you were a bridesmaid for.
Oh, yes.
I assume you were not the only bridesmaid. So, are the other bridesmaids wearing the dress, or is it just you?
They are, it's just, well, it was my best friend too, who was, of course, a member of the wedding. And then she got married way before I did and, was busy having children. And she gave me her dress and it was cut up and redesigned by the designer Nicole Miller for when we appeared on Inside Edition. So that dress was all uh, remade into a skirt and a vest, and it's pretty cool. But I can't say I wear that, but I look at it fondly.
Mm. And did the marriage last? In other words, you've been wearing this dress all these years. Is your girlfriend still married?
The bride is happily married and has a major career, but I just leave her out of it because, she didn't invent the concept of wearing matching dresses to a wedding. And certainly things have changed since that that time because now brides are saying, "Oh, choose a color," and that will, you can go from there because there is not one style that can accommodate, we'll say a woman that's 4'11" and a woman that's 5'10" and somebody that's well endowed and someone who isn't. So I think bridesmaids dresses have gotten better, but
What?
people still have a lot of them. I mean, I'll tell you, I took one of my dresses not from that wedding, but from another one. I reupholstered my piano bench, but I haven't really used them so much like I have done the gold dress because the gold dress is compelling. I don't know. It must be the sequins or something.
What has your friend said about the longevity and the success of the dress that was initially worn for her wedding?
I don't think she ever thought that it would make national media, and certainly I didn't either. But when we get together, we don't talk about that. I mean, that was so long ago. We're always catching up on more timely things. But she just laughed. She doesn't. Nobody would envision that this is what it is. And but that's what happened. It's quirky but harmless, and that's what I like about it.
I've seen a lot of the pictures where you've traveled literally around the world and wearing the dress. To be honest, one of my favorite pictures is the one you took in 2012 in London with a guardsman.
Yeah. Yes. I mean, I got his permission first. He looked very serious, but he seemed to be willing to stand motionless next to me, which, made him a good foil. And that was great. I mean, I had fun in London in the dress. And then I stepped a few, like maybe a foot away, peeled the dress off. He was probably relieved to know that I was fully clothed underneath it. And then I walked on and probably had a good lunch.
What is your favorite escapade or picture with the dress?
I think I would have to say uh, Morocco riding a camel because I was scared. Those camels are mean, and I don't think they appreciated the gold sequins either. There's a reason why there's like a rope or like a little tie around their mouth, but it was cool to be in the Sahara Desert and riding the camel. I thought it was going to throw me, but I want to be buried in the dress. So if something happened, I guess I'd be ready to go. Literally.
We would be remiss if we didn't mention the fact that not only have you had enjoyment with this dress, not only have you written a book which you gave some of the proceeds to a charity, but you continue to raise money with this dress. Tell us about that.
Well, I haven't done it recently because, as I said, the styles have changed, but I work at Cancer Bridges in Pittsburgh, and we have all free support services for those affected by cancer. And if I can think of another way to create an event with some buzz, I'm definitely going to do it. We did $100,000 on 4 years of events, but that was a while ago. I'm ready to relaunch it because I love my charity and I believe in it. It's just, we're so busy now, but I'll entertain all offers, that's for sure.
Which came first, chicken or egg kind of situation? Were you someone who was a world traveler, or did you become a world traveler because of the dress?
I always wanted to travel, but that's a good question. I think I wouldn't say I travel because of the dress. I travel because one of my best friends is a travel agent and another is a travel writer. But they understand that if I'm going somewhere, the dress is accompanying me. But people around, Pittsburgh also know that if there's a photo opportunity, I'm coming with the dress. No one even asks anymore. They just expect it.
At the height of your popularity with the dress, when you were having the book and you were doing television, if you were out in the dress, did you get recognized?
Yes. And I think it's because of, Oprah was a lot. And, people would say, oh, I saw you somewhere. Is this the dress? I'm like, well, yes, it is my dress. And happy to, be recognized. Honestly, I got a lot of proposals and letters to go out. And I had a boyfriend at the time, which I usually never say, but I would, get, you're always a bridesmaid, I could marry you. And that's very, very nice. But I tend to think if somebody wants to marry me and they haven't met me, that's probably not going to be in my future. But
did you ever get married?
I did. I finally got married. So I'm not always a bridesmaid, but my husband passed away after a year from cancer, actually. So I am still, I'm widowed and single, I guess you could say.
I'm sorry for your loss.
Oh, thank you.
But you have I guess a great sense of humor, a great sense of style, and also a great sense of literally doing the right thing. And you've combined all of those things to have some fun with the dress and raise some money for a very, very good organization. So kudos to you on all that you've done since 1988.
Well, I'll tell you what's next in the works. People ask me how I can still fit in the dress after 35 years, and I definitely have fitness and diet tips, and I'm planning on sharing them. Nothing's earth-shattering. I just want to say what works for me because people do ask about that, and I have a few answers. That is for sure.
Excellent. Rebecca, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have a chance to talk with you. Continued success in all that you do.
Hey, great success to you too. Thank you very much for your time, and I think you're awesome and great questions too. So thank you.
Rebecca Whitlinger, who since 1988 has gotten plenty of use out of her gold lame bridesmaid dress.
You've just heard an exclusive excerpt from the Stuph File Program with Peter Anthony Holder. To hear any or all of the full hour-long shows, visit thestufffile.com. Stuph is spelled S-T-U-P-H. That's thestufffile.com. A presentation of Flying Fish Communications.